So for anyone who hasn't already, I would recommend going back to my previous video called Start Listening to Yourself More. And I mainly say that because what I'm about to talk about in this video, it kind of continues on a point that I made in the last one. Except now I kind of want to go more in depth on exactly what I meant. And so with that said, this video is going to be about finding exactly what you want to do with your life. And so one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video is because now that I'm older, one thing I've definitely realized is that a lot of people really don't know what they want to do with their lives. And what I'm about to say is mostly going to apply to younger people. It can apply to older people as well. The main thing I wanted to say is that it's okay to not really know what you want to do with your life yet. And I mainly say this because one thing I've noticed is that a lot of older people, especially ones who like already been well into their careers, they like to be really judgmental about people who are like really young and just don't have their entire lives figured out yet. And honestly, it doesn't feel right to me because now that, like I said, now that I'm older, I know that a lot of these same people who are so judgmental about young people, they don't even have their lives figured out yet. And honestly, many of them end up living lives that they really hate. And honestly, in my opinion, it feels like they're kind of just projecting their anger towards younger people. It doesn't feel right to me. Because the thing is, most young people, like, they haven't been able to experience life enough to really be able to plan their entire lives out. And so it just feels ridiculous to like have such high expectations for younger people when, especially for people who like just graduated high school, it's just so unrealistic. And honestly, it makes older people really look like hypocrites. Because the thing is, again, like a lot of these same older people are so judgmental, they don't even have their own lives figured out. I've worked alongside them, so I know that they're working jobs that they hate or they're being around people that they don't like. And yet, for some reason, they're being judgmental about how younger people don't have their stuff figured out. And so, again, the main reason I wanted to make this video is to tell younger people, and even if you're an older person, it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do with your life. Because honestly, for me, I didn't figure out what I wanted to do until a year before I'm even making these videos, to be honest. The most important thing I would say though is just avoid putting yourself in a position that you'll hate. As long as you don't have to work a job that you hate every single day or be around people you don't like, I'd say you're definitely in a better position than most people are, to be honest. So really, if you're somebody who doesn't know, and again, it's understandable if you don't know what you want to do yet, just really take the time that you can to really explore all your options, see exactly what you're interested in. Just really take the time to really think about what you want to do. And then once you find out what that is, then you can start making a plan on how to get there. And this is something that I really wanted to say because this is something I can honestly admit that I didn't do for myself. I didn't really take the time to like explore all of my options when it comes to what I wanted to do with my life. And so with that said, I want to go to one of the first points I have for this video. And it's the fact that I was following what other people said I should and shouldn't do way too much. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this point because most of the stuff I'm about to say right now, I've already said in my past video. But basically, I made a lot of life decisions that I really regret right now because I spent way too much time listening to what other people were saying I should and shouldn't do. And this involves a lot of stuff such as like going to college or the exact career path that I go down or religions that I follow. And I basically just went along with what other people were telling me I should do because of what was considered success. But the problem was that after some point, I just really felt like I wasn't where I needed to be. And so I really started questioning a lot of the things that I've been told growing up. And so basically, once I started listening to myself more, I really started ignoring what other people were telling me and just kind of did my own thing. And so after a few months of really trying to find exactly what I wanted to do, funny enough, the thing that helped me find exactly what I wanted to do was just this one post that I saw on Twitter. But basically, this kind of goes into my second point of being able to really find what I wanted to do. And I eventually found my love for 3D animation. And so, like I said, the funny thing is that all it took for me to find what I wanted to do was this one post I saw on Twitter. I'm not going to be able to find the exact video, but basically, I saw somebody who like posted a tweet of like a fight scene they animated in 3D. And for me, it was just like, it was super cool. Like, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And so after I saw that post, I ended up like going on YouTube and watching a ton of like 3D fight animations. And it was like at that point where like I knew that this is something I wanted to look into. And so once I realized this, I started like doing a lot of research on like softwares that I can use to be able to do the same thing. And eventually I came across this software that was called Blender. Thankfully, it was a free software, so I ended up kind of just messing around with it for about a year or two. And during that time, I definitely realized that like this is what I want to make my career out of. And so once I realized this, I ended up looking into a lot of different areas that I can use 3D animation for. And there's honestly a lot of things you can do with 3D animation. You can use it for movies, TV, games. You can even use it for education. You can also use it for making commercials, or if somebody just has like a little personal project they wanted to work on. And so I'm really thankful that I ended up finding something that like had a lot of room to move around in. And honestly, it can pay well. And so realizing that this is something that I can do for a living, I basically ended up trying to find anything that I can do to be able to make a career out of this. And so with that said, this is going to go into one of the last points I have for this video, and it's basically the steps that I took to go into this career. Now, mind you, when I found this out, I was still in college at the time. And if you watched my previous video, you know how much I hated college. Even then, I still gave it a chance because my college did offer like animation, like workshops and events. And so I basically ended up spending a lot of my time attending these workshops and these events, and I hated it. I'm not gonna lie. It just felt so overwhelming because it felt like what the college was offering, it was so lackluster for what I needed. And so at some point I dropped out of the college because I just realized that this is not going to get me where I need to be. And so after I started doing my own thing, my health had like really improved. And it really helped me be able to kind of calm down on my hate for college and kind of realize that like it was just specifically my college that I hated. Like I don't hate the idea of college entirely. It's just specifically my college wasn't good. And so after I kind of realized that, I basically kind of gave school another chance. Not the college I was going to. That's definitely not happening again. But basically, I ended up looking into a lot of other schools around me or even online that I can do. And I eventually came across this online animation school. And the name of this school was called Anim School. And so basically, they're a school that specifically focuses on 3D animation. Now they do other things such as like VFX and character modeling, but specifically for my case, I went with 3D animation. And I love this school, man. Like the people there, they really care about making sure that you can succeed in this career path. And then on top of that, it was way cheaper than going to college. It was 100% online, so you can really do it wherever you want, whenever you want, and however you want it, if that made any sense. And the quality, it was just way higher than what I was getting going to the college that I was attending. And so once I finished this school, I just felt like my skills were like way higher than what I would have ever gotten going to the college I was attending. But even once that happened, I still ended up taking like a few additional like animation courses that I found like online through like YouTubers. And after doing that for a few months after I finished the school, I ended up actually getting my first job. And it was perfect because I can't say the exact details because I'm under NDA and I don't want to get sued, but it perfectly aligns with what I wanted to do. And I'm really thankful that I got this opportunity because it only happened because I really started listening to myself more and really gave myself the time that I actually needed to find what I wanted to do. So, really quickly, what you're watching right now is actually recorded on a completely different day because right now I'm currently living with another family member, and I feel kind of awkward trying to record these while they're here. So, I kind of just wait until they leave at night to get a chance to record these. But basically, what I was trying to say throughout the video is that if you don't know what you want to do yet, don't really worry about it, honestly. Because for me, it took 3 years after I graduated high school to find out that I wanted to do 3D animation. Because before I got into 3D animation, I was about to do a lot of things, such as like music or electrical engineering, software engineering. But after some time, I realized that these things just aren't going to work out. And I just knew that it was something I was going to do for a long term. And so for you, you might find what you want to do in just a few months. Others, they're probably going to take a few years until they find out what they want to do. And I've realized that that's actually okay because, you're just starting to experience life, basically. And so you can't really get an idea of exactly what you want to do with your life yet until you start doing a few things. So if you ever feel like you're pressured to try to find what you want to do as quickly as possible, like really don't worry about it, honestly. As long as you're not getting yourself into a position that you hate, and as long as you're not just sitting around doing nothing every day, it's really fine to take as much time as you need to find what you want to do. And so I really hope somebody got something out of this video because, like I said in my previous videos, I really want to dedicate this channel to helping people. Because one thing I've definitely realized is that when it comes to life, it's not really as simple as a lot of people around us try to make it out to be. And so with this channel, I want to be a bit more realistic, I guess I could say. And so I feel like I really want to be able to point that out. But anyway, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.